lifted. Yeah, man, I went too cold. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Invitational featuring Fortnite. My name is Ben K. I'm here with the lovely Ruby Plays. We've got some crazy action coming to you today. $10,000 on the line and some of the top female competitors from all over the world, all in one place. Ruby, this is my first all-women's event I've ever been able to take part on, and I'm super excited.
Oh yeah, I mean, same with me. I've competed in some, never casted anything. But yeah, super excited. I'm sure it's going to be action-packed. Builds, reload, 8 teams with like 10 people. Sorry. Freaking, my bad.
No worries.
I'm dyslexic. Yeah. There is 40 people, 10 teams. It's going to be action-packed, builds, craziness. About to come you guys' way.
Non-stop action, and that's something we don't get to see a ton of, right? Like, squads competitions are really few and far between, but when we do get to see them, it's always explosive, especially on the reload format when you've got a smaller map. Normally, when you have bigger teams, you want a little bit more space for these players to play their game, try and farm up a little bit more, but you can't do that in squads, can't do that in reload. It's going to be non-stop action start to finish, but we could break down a little bit of the scoring. Ruby, you want to go over this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first place, 10 points, and then 1 elimination per point per elimination. So it's going to be very elimination heavy. And with reload, teams respawning until the end game, where it's going to be really intense. So it's going to be crazy. I wonder how teams are going to work this leaderboard, if they're going to push for eliminations or what. It's all up in the air to play for.
Yeah, we normally see a lot of players liking to play for endgame, especially in these invitational style tournaments, because obviously it's an invitational. It's the best of the best, right? So all of these girls here today trying to compete, they're great at what they do. So placement is going to be really hard to lock down consistently. So those 1 point per eliminations, I'm sure we're going to see players taking advantage of that, especially in the reload format. We say there's only 40 players in the lobby, but realistically, you could get more eliminations than the lobby count itself. Everyone has unlimited lives up until a certain point. So that keeps the action rolling, and it makes it a little bit more forgiving for these girls.
Yeah, for sure. People are going to be respawning from the sky. There are easy picks to get going and to lock in this prize pool. First place, $4,000, going down to fifth, $1,100. So it's a very nice looking prize pool that we got going on here. So I'm sure they're going to be extra competitive to lock in this first place.
I'll say, Ruby, you say you're a competitor as well. I'm looking at this prize pool. I'm sure you're a little bummed out. I mean, $10,000 on the line. That's $1,000 per person on the winning team today. And the competition is stacking up to be super competitive. There's no front runner as far as I'm looking at it. There are plenty of teams in contention, and we can highlight a couple of them here as we work through it. I mean, are there any names, Ruby, that pop out to you immediately on this team captains list?
I mean, I've had a look at the team rosters, and Team Frantic is looking pretty crazy right now. They've got some very, very good players. Fran herself has been popping off in a lot of tournaments recently, along with Canary. Alba is known as one of the best female players in Fortnite right now. And then Somerset, she's been slaying in tournaments since I can remember, to be honest. So this is a very stacked team right here.
So this is kind of like the OGs combined with like the new generation of talent. I mean, it's super cool to see. Obviously, Frantic and Canary first place back-to-back in the Milk Cup events here. And then now adding on Albaxa and Somerset. I mean, this is a really solid roster. It's going to be hard to really rival these four. But again, they're going to be contesting some of these more popular POIs. Maybe we see some surprise cons, or maybe there's some issues if they try and get a little bit too aggressive. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But there's more teams that we could take a look at as well. Let's go ahead and pull up one of my favorites, Team K-Morse. This roster is stacking to be a serious competitor in this. You see K-Morse, Vanessa, Nina, Vader. I mean, Ruby, come on now. This is a serious team here.
Yeah, for sure. Vanessa, another one, an OG, just like Somerset. They used to play together a lot in some of these women-only tournaments. And Nina, Vader coming in hot recently. They've got some very good placements under their belt. And K-Morse, she's very fun to play with, always keeps up the good vibes. And she's also very good. So this is a very, very stacked team right here. And Vader, their like IGLing skills are going to be so important, especially in a squads type format, because it's absolute chaos. So the best IGL team, honestly, is going to take it home today, in my opinion.
Sure, you need a calm, cool, collected leader to make sure that you can focus that aggression, right? You can have great fraggers, but if you don't have a good IGL, especially in squads, the team's just going to fall apart. And you can kind of see it here as well, right? We talk about some of these duos like Frantic and Canary, and then on this team, Nina and Vader, right? Duos pairing up with two other players, maybe a strong IGL or support player. Those are the teams that are really going to do well. Just let the duos bounce off each other's like they normally do, and then just pair to them, match their pacing, and then try and frag out in the lobby. So I'm super excited. There is one more team, though, Ruby, I think that you had your eye on coming into this.
Yep. Yeah, I would say Team Reddish. Reddish is my girl. I've played a lot of tournaments with her, and she has picked up some very good players right here. Chloe Ames, Yanni, Zelika, very good players, all of them, and I'm sure they're going to slay off. And also, EU, Red, she pops off in a lot of tournaments, and yeah, they're a very good team. I'm not actually sure who's going to be IGLing this team, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. I know Red likes to frag, and she's played a lot of reload tournaments recently as well, so that's going to be very handy to know the format and the way that you can work the respawns to get as much action and eliminations as possible. Is going to be very important for this format.
So Reddish is the OG duo back in DreamHack, like 2023, maybe. We were able to play the zero build competition. A little bit different today, obviously. Builds, reloads. I don't even think reload was out during that competition. But again, just to see Reddish representing EU here, we have to remember, though, like it's EU and NA mixed. So if you're not doing super well, the region's going to be split. So you might see some teams that pop off on the NA regions and some that pop off on EU. So just because you have one bad game doesn't mean you're out of the competition. There's still plenty of opportunities. Plus, we have a rotating map pool, 3 different maps that are coming into rotations here for these girls. And on top of that, that's 3 different drop maps, 3 different POIs you have to know, 3 different maps you have to be aware on. So it's a mix of everything. You have to make sure that you're prepared for this competition. And the names out here, it's looking like it's going to be some serious competition. It's going to be good.
Yeah, for sure. And 3 maps with 4 games. I don't know which game is going to be played, which map is going to be played twice. It's going to be very interesting because I know some teams are contested in some maps and some aren't in the others. So I know a few teams are going to have their favorite map that they really want to play twice, just to give them that slight bit of competitive advantage here.
Yeah, and I think we actually can take a look at some of these drop maps. I know, Ruby, you and I were looking at some of them before the show actually started, trying to take a peek at some of these drop maps to see what these contested POIs look like. And let's go ahead and take a look at Slurp Rush here. And I know, Ruby, you're immediately looking towards the middle of this map here. Frantic and Team Luca here contested off the rip.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be very intense, especially going for that one chest on top of one of the the towers. I'm sure they're all going to be rooting to get that chest. Best drop is probably going to win. That we might see some very early eliminations here. And who knows, they might get a quick team wipe, but because it's squads and reload, it's going to be very hard to do that. So they're going to have to really work well as a team. And also down in the bottom right, we've got Reddish's team contesting Moxie. That's going to be very intense. Although there is kind of 2 named locations there, so I wonder if one team is going to take more of one location than the other. So they might not have such an intense fight as we're going to see in Slurpee.
Yeah, it is squads, so that you can kind of split off into 2 teams of 2.
Yep.
But again, like that bottom right corner, if you have 2 contested teams right here, it also leaves the door open for teams close by to rotate in, maybe get some shots on while they're respawning if they're in the air, right? We talked about shooting players out of the air and picking up free eliminations that way. So there's a lot of different strategies that these girls can take into account. But again, there is so much up to chance here with squads going on, and you have so much space in some of these drops that you could spread out. You could see a duo fight over and over and over and over and over again while the other 2 are across the map just playing their life, and they can continue to frag out. There's a ton of different strategies that these players can try out, but again, we won't know till we get into game. But this is only one of our drop maps. We have 2 others, Slurp Rush, and then we have Venture and Squid Grounds. Let's go ahead and pull up another one here to look at. I know specifically we'll check this one out first. This will be our Squid Grounds drop map. Not nearly as much action here.
Yeah, there is one team still left to mark on this drop map. That's Moxie's team. We're not sure where she's going to land. Obviously, all the named locations have been taken right now, so we are very likely to see them contesting another team. And Frantic's team having square meals, totally uncontested as of now. which is pretty crazy, especially as if they do the 4 challenges, the Squid Game challenges, they unlock that center mythic in the middle of square meals, and that can be a crazy weapon to use, especially in this squads format right now.
It'll be interesting. Square meal, that's a lot of loot to go around. It is squads. You have to gear up 4 different players to full loadouts. But again, reload is really not short when it comes to loot. Like there's usually plenty to go around. But square meals, I don't know if it's overkill or not, but they've got a ton of stuff. And again, that mythic would really shake things up. If that team wasn't a dominant pick already to do well, with having that POI uncontested, it could be a little bit scary. We'll have to see what maps we end up playing on though.
Yep, for sure. They're gonna probably get that mythic very quickly though, because squads 4 challenges, they all land on a challenge. They're there instantly. And then here we got Pleasant Park. This is gonna be very interesting. I'm super excited to see this. K-Moors' team versus Moxie off spawn. Pleasant Park is a very nice POI to fight in, just because of the split of buildings. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes down. Either of these teams can take it. There's some very strong contestants. Right here.
Yeah, lots of loot. It's very splittable, but again, I don't think like for squads, I don't think like I'd want to split it. Really?
Oh no, they're gonna fight.
Yeah,
for sure.
For 110%. Like you can get loot, you can get playable loadouts leaving this POI if you're only getting half of it. But these are competitors that, I mean, off the rip, just looking at the roster, are gonna be competing for the win. So they're not gonna want to be leaving with half the loot. There's no way.
And then 1 point per elimination with only 10 points to win the whole round. So teams are going to be trying to frag out, get as much eliminations as possible, because you can get 10 eliminations, no placement point, and that's the same amount as coming first with no eliminations. So yeah, and also Dusty Docks is also important to look at. That is the POI on this map that has the most amount of chest spawns, and Team Luca has that uncontested.
That's, God, actually, I didn't know that. Over Tilted Towers.
Yep, and Pleasant Park. Pleasant Park and Tilted are up there, but Dusty has it by quite a lot, actually. I think it's around 60 chests.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy, yep.
So they might be able to get the loot off spawn, but again, it is an edge map POI, so they're going to have to rotate through multiple of these teams landing close by. Frantic, Alba, Canary, they're landing Tilted Towers, so they'll have that center map control in more than likely the first couple of zones. So those edge map POIs, are going to be the teams that have to rotate the quickest. Right back to Pleasant Park, though, right? If they're fighting off spawn, trying to secure the rest of the loot, they're going to be out of zone early on. They're going to have to leave. Again, that opens up the door for teams that are holding them on edge. Maybe Team Helms, that little loot lake. That opens them up, right? They have already like that kind of center island. They could build some towers, maybe look for tags in the distance. There's a lot of interesting strategies you can put in here. These smaller maps just shake things up completely. All the strategies that you use in normal Battle Royale, they really don't transfer as much here on Reload.
For sure, and also with Reload, the respawn's coming from the air. And when zone comes in, if you're not in zone and one of your teammates get eliminated, they're going to respawn just on the edge of zone, so that could be far away from you if you're fighting deep in zone. So then it's going to be taking even more time for them to get back to you, to back you up, or they're just going to have to relocate and try get an airdrop. So yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be getting into game here in just a little bit. We're queuing up, trying to get all these gals on the battle bus before we could jump right into the action. First map, we don't really know what it's gonna be, so it's hard to make predictions. Ruby, I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I feel bad. I didn't give you a warning, but if you have any predictions for today, what's the team? What's the team?
For who I think is gonna win?
I mean, top 3 maybe. I don't know about maybe the win, but at least top 3.
Well, I would say that Frantic's team is looking very good, having a few POIs uncontested with a lot of loot, and also Alba. She's such a good player, and on EU as well. I know a lot of the girls competing today will be on NA, slightly more than EU, but there is a lot of EU players. So Alba really knows how to make use of that ping difference when there is the EU games. She's going to be jumping into boxes, going crazy, and yeah, such a strong team. They've got a lot of confidence, and yeah, very confident team, I'd say.
And I'm trying to spot what map it is. We see we're here at Lone Lodge.
Oh, this is the Pleasant Park map with Tilted Towers in the middle. Seems the team on Lonely Lodge is contested already. Lena's team. Seem to have an elimination off the rip.
Say one
It
early
looks like
elim.
both teams have traded.
3-on-3. Action slows down, but a big beam there from the distance onto this player here in Lone Lodge. Again, seems like it's going to be a surprise contestation. We didn't really plan for this, but Swizzy doing a great job to pick up a mirror there. The full knock and finish. They're doing a great job here. Immediately looking to the sky, trying to take Yaz out. Some shots on with a little 30 tag. Taking care of that there and securing the drop spot. So they'll have to rotate away, winning the off spawn here in game number 1. Swizzy holding on.
Yeah, for sure. Very intense fight, but it looks like they traded one-on-one, and then Lena and Envy's team got the next elimination, so that team had to go ahead and rotate out because they don't want to risk having no loot in the middle of nowhere. And in reload, you can get a full loadout from a couple chests if you're somewhat lucky. So they're going to go ahead and rotate out. There's a new building slightly further away that I'm sure they'll be looting, trying to get back into the game. But a good couple points on the board for Lena's team right here.
Say, it can be rough to get pushed off your drop spot like this, especially in game number 1. It's a hit to the confidence just a little bit. But again, that's where playing reload really becomes an advantage because you can get punished and not be able to secure your drop spot and still make something of the game. You can land, you can find a couple chests, play out the rest, and you'll be okay. You just have to make sure that you don't make too many more mistakes as the game goes on. But more action here. Immediately over towards Little Loot Lake, seeming like Somerset's team rotating out here early.
Yeah, I think they might have just landed tilted, got some loot, and then trying to get some free, well, not so free because they're in the middle of the Loot Lake, but some elimination on Helms' team right here. Because I'm sure Somerset's team know how important it is to get some high eliminations in these games, especially if they're wanting to take home the first place.
So they got so much loot so quick. Immediately rotating over. Not even a minute into the game, they're straight out of Tilted and straight over to Little Loot Lake. It seems like most teams here, Matty NF now rotating over on the edge of Tilted Towers here, putting some pressure on here, but we'll see the build fight finally ensue here. They've closed the distance. Somerset trying to play some low ground here, giving Albaxna a little bit of space to heal back up. I feel like they took a big chunk of damage here. Just trying to support here. Again, we talked about playing in duos. These two are going and playing side to side, but Canary, early knock here. Fran is nowhere to be found right now, trying to clean things up, get a shot on, and there's the connection. The big shotgun shot to trade to even things out.
Yeah, that's very close. I mean, right now it's going to be who can keep the loot that's been gathered from these Nox players, so that when their teammates fly back down after respawning, that they can get a good refresh and get right back into this fight really quickly.
Trying to clear him up. Not giving him any time to breathe. Were any of these players gliding in the chance to gear back up. Helms still on the back foot. They're playing together. Summer doing a great job of applying pressure, trying to look for a little bit of piece control, and off the right-hand peak. And that a three down and out. One player left. Helms trying to scatter. Give the team a chance to respawn here. Again, it's on a timer, so you don't need to buy much time, just enough for your teammates to glide back in somewhere safe.
Yeah, for sure, and they need to try get some loot as quickly as possible because teams like Somerset's right now, they're on a roll. They've just got 4 eliminations, and they're going to try keep that momentum going throughout the game because these elimination points are so important right here. And another pick onto a mirror. It seems like she was caught off guard right here. Some free loot for this team, Swizzy's team.
They're holding on here just inside of Tilted Towers. They do have the first zone. Again, not many teams have to move super far. It is a smaller map, but again, you still have to be mindful of the storm. Envy and Co securing a nice little spot here outside Tilted Towers, making sure they grab all the loot they need. Just box it on up before the player glides back in. Just shows them, hey, you're not going to come back and grab your loot. Let's go into the squad. And they'll secure this building here. I like this strategy. Just hunker down, replace some of these walls, make sure that you own, refarm where you can. No need to play too aggressively while you have players and teams like Moxie here trying to chase players down, and it's Reddish on the receiving end of this aggression.
Yeah, it looks like Reddish's team are coming in from the outskirts to try defend her inside this building. They know Red always knows how to box up and make space in these build games that teams like Mox's team, it takes them a lot to break through these walls and to get tags on them. And especially hoping for a third-party team to come in. Mox is always aware, looking around. You can see, make sure they're not getting third-party, because getting third-partied by a squad, if you get 3-2-1, you're going to die pretty instantly. So yeah, Red's team taking some damage here, but they're making some good space, making it harder for Moxie's team to break through.
That's the issue with squads. You just have so many materials. It's so hard to break through these teams that just want to hunker down. But now you see some shockwaves coming out. They're trying to space out just a little bit. Reddish is low. Yumi is low. Moxie's looking for some shots in the air, and they do pick off Reddish. They're going to box up right on top of the body, try and secure the rest of this loot. But they're just spamming shockwaves, trying to get away.
Yeah, for sure. As long as Red's team, at least one player has made it out, so that will give, as long as they stay alive for around the next 20-ish seconds, then Reddish will respawn, come back in and try get some loot so she can continue on the game. Also, airdrops are going to start coming in from the sky right now, which is some really good loot refreshes for some teams, especially the ones that are in a bit more shambles right now, who have maybe been eliminated a couple times, to get their loot back up and running.
It's never too late in reload, well, unless you go down right after the timer. But again, if you go down early in this game here, you make some mistakes, it's okay. You have time to gear back up. The mats are increased farm rate, so you can get right back into the fight as quickly as you can. So it's not the end of the world. Frantic, Somerset, Albax, and Canary now rotating back into Tilted Towers. They'll secure themselves a nice little spot here. They hear some players above. Maddie and F in this build fight. They're looking to try and control some of this piece here. Thought they were boxing up to play for placement, but they want to take the fight to them. They figured, we'll just take the box fight. We're confident, but Fran getting punished there for playing a little bit too aggressive. Peeks two players, gets shot. Seems like the duo will back them up there. Just hold on to some walls here. Somerset doing a great job to support Frantic, so things will stall out for the time being as they heal back up.
Yeah, they'll just take their time here. You see the next zone has pulled back in towards Tilted, so a lot of teams are going to be having these type of building fights right now. Trying to secure as much space and maybe even get some free tags on some players, which they can then push, turn into an elimination, and some more loot. And with not that many mats on Fran's team, they are going to be looking for a refresh before this timer runs out on the respawns, so that they're going to be ready for the end game.
They already have 4 eliminations, but they want more. Still pushing through here, maybe setting up a little bit of a pre-edit there. You can see it now, taking control of these walls. Softy not really able to hold on. Manietov tries to take an off angle, but Frantic will punish her. Again, back of the box. Each player is taking 1v1. Somerset is knocked now. Shifting the tides back as Moxie, third partying, spraying into Tilted Towers. So it gives Maddie the opportunity to try and scramble away. Frantic taking a ton of damage here. Nobody has shield on the squad right now. Everybody's low. That aggression really got punished. Everyone having to disengage, heal back up here. The zone is just too small.
Yeah, for sure. They did bag an elimination just then, but at what cost? Because now one of their players doesn't have, I mean, as I can tell, good weapons. Somerset might be having to run with some scraps right now. And then they're going to try to get some more picks to hopefully get Somerset back some loot. So this end game will be a lot easier for this team. And zone has pulled far away as well, so they need to get ready for that rotate pretty soon.
Doing a great job. This massive turtle fight here. So many builds. That building has been fully taken over. And again, everyone has to rotate out of Tilted Towers. All the teams that secured spots inside of Tilted now having to rotate out all at the same time. Somerset.
And up this hill.
Yeah, they got a long way to go here. You can see the Fizz, maybe Fizz crash pad coming out to try and close this distance. It's too many options.
For sure, there's a lot of different movement items in Reload. Crash pads, shock waves. Oh, Fran get eliminated out of the air. That just shows how important it is to rotate early in squads. And Alba going down as well. That team on the hill in such a good position for this endgame right now. And they might be pushing for the... Yep, they're pushing. That's Reddish's team.
Oh, no.
Is there 3 teams right there? Oh, my goodness. Oh, Vader and Nina, both really weak.
Everyone
having to stay alive right now.
Everyone hit the same crash pad. It looks like they're all landing on top of each other. Vader and Nina, the only 2 left. Nina down and out now. Vader alone, trying to play the box, pop the legendary slurp, get back to full HP, the bailout shockwave. So many materials, though. So has the chance to try and play for placement a little bit more here. The rest of the team is out. Vader finding a spot in this next zone. But again, with only 10 points in placement, you need those eliminations. And as a solo, it's just so much more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure when reboots actually ran out because it's hard to see in replays, but I'm not sure. Yes, they did. All of this team have just respawned just before reboots got finished. Reboots are finished now, but all of them are going to fly back in and hopefully land on Vader, which she's in a very good position right now, which is going to be crucial for this team because all of them only have a grey AR apart from Vader right now, so they're going to have to try get some refreshes here as people have to rotate.
Where good communication comes into play here. You want to make sure you're team focusing. You have 4 players, you might as well use them, pick out a target and just spray, because this team needs a refresh. They need to get a shotgun in somebody else's hands, and they need some more ammo because they're going to run out so quick. Vader trying to plot out this rotate for the team here on the right side. Finds the dead angle here and the off angle on the team boxed up. What a shot from Vader. The Mammoth pistol doing so much work right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's got this Mammoth, which is very important because some big hits can come in and then they can maybe get a refresh on one of the players if Vader manages to get a good tag. And then they might be able to get a good loot refresh. Zone pulls really far for them, though, so that's going to be a very tough rotate for that team specifically because they are the first away. And Reddish's team looking like they've pulled zone, and Swizzy's team trying to claim high ground right now with NB. So I wonder if they're going to hold it for this rotate or if they're going to let it go.
So it's moving quickly. Reboots are now disabled, so if you go down now, there's no option but to wait until the next game. Vanessa holding the low ground, trying to move along this dead side of zone. Maybe Luca, Daya, stuck on low ground. Again, pulling over the water, so you have to burn so many more materials to move through these zones. If you decide to full tarp, you have to cover all sides. Luca just waiting, trying to find an opportunity, maybe a chance to throw a team shockwave. But again, trying to spot out these refreshes on back zone, see if there's anybody that's shambles, maybe swimming in the water. They want to save all these movement items and use them together. You see one trying to play for the grappler, but there's the team shock. Again, a little bit mistimed there, but 2 players out. 2 more with the second, so they'll claim a side of this zone here on low ground and will actually be able to make it in safely.
For sure. Only 1 elimination for this team, unfortunately, but they're going to look to try get some more elimination points throughout this end game. Daya going down right now on this rotate. And it seems like Lucker's landed right on a squad. They're somehow managing to survive right now. Lena's team Swizzy on height. They're still keeping high ground right now. Well, it's all shambles down below. It's hard to see any teams that are fully cool, calm, and collected on low ground right now. All of them looking a bit weak, a bit in shambles. Trios. Oh, we have Reg's Moxie's team, actually. Oh, never mind. I jinxed them. The B has just gone down.
Keep in mind, we still have 9 out of 10 teams in this lobby, so still racking up these placement points as it'll start to funnel in here. Ronaldo making their way in. 15
Reg's
health,
on
but
1
the chug
HP
jug
right now.
so low. All it takes is 1 shot, and only with wood needs to pop this chug jug. Moxie already in this zone. Q-Trix also in this zone. Ronaldo scrambling to get back to the team, and they managed to do so. But now they're on ultimate low ground. They're trying to swim their way to victory here. High ground just putting on so much pressure. The shockwave back into this zone. A great rotation.
How is Reg still alive? Oh, never mind.
Putting on a masterclass.
Nah, that is crazy. That is some very good survival skills right there.
Q-Trix finds 1 on low ground. There's another elimination to round it out.
Moxie's also really weak on low ground as well.
Moxie's team on 8 eliminations, though, so 3 HP in a dream. Trying to pull.
Very good shots from Moxie. Getting an elimination on a squad with 3 HP on low ground, and she's just swimming around right here. Hoping nobody jumps down the side and sees her. Oh, unable to grab that med kit, though. That's very unfortunate. MV's team on high ground looking like it might be a free win for them right now. As it looks like Swizzy has died to full damage, though.
They're holding up, playing this high ground so well. Swizzy just A little bit of a slip, but that's okay. Still holding on the high ground. They have that win condition here.
Yeah.
4 teams left, 8 players up right now, with 4 of them being this team on heights. So a lot of solos down here on low ground. Moxie still swimming around. Yanni on the backside, still trying to make something happen. Maybe play for a bit of a heal off here, get last minute placement. Yaz trying to heal back up. Envy now dropping down to maybe look for some frags, pick up those last minute eliminations. Again, every point counts here.
For sure, all these elimination points are really going to stack up towards the end when you're looking at the leaderboard. And Moxie still alive somehow, got up to 150 HP after she was just 3 HP not too long ago. Doing a very good solo clutch right now for her team. These teams on low ground trying to rework all the old builds right now.
So they're going to run out of space soon. As it continues to close, Moxie finally falling to the storm there. Now we'll see it in a 3v2 situation for the win here in game number 1. Trying to just move through these builds. This team on high ground needs to make a decision. They're going to play for the win, or they want these eliminations, and they'll drop straight down. Big shots on Akero. The shockwaves will break up the builds here. Envy goes down. The big shotgun shot. Make that 1 and 2. Trying to find the last player in the team there. The siphon will come through, but it's not going to be enough from the high ground. Start to finish, Lena and co picking up the first victory royale.
Very good from that second place team as well. Managing to pick up both of those eliminations as that team dropped down, sending 2 of them down to try get some tags in so that they could maybe secure the eliminations. That team on low ground said, no, not today. They're taking those elimination points for themselves, coming second place, but a very good duo clutch from that team.
I was gonna say, I didn't think high ground would be as dominant as it was in that game. Honestly, I mean, you think about like squads. If a squad looks up and tries to spray you out, there's really not a lot you can do to reconnect, but nobody looked up the whole game. Envy, they just sat up there the whole time.
Yeah, they had a lot of real estate going on up there as well. They were connected in many different angles. But let's have a look here. Fran getting in, taking some easy early eliminations back in Loot Lake. And Somerset.
And we saw it so early in this game too. We thought the drop map would really kind of dictate the way this game was going to play out. But it really didn't have any effect. All of these teams looted so quick and rotated out immediately, basically, to try and fight early on here. Just all of these girls so confident to take these early game engagements. And we saw that with some of these crazy high elimination counts. Honestly, Moxie's team maybe even breaking into the double digits there, over 10 or close to it. So some big points here. And again, we saw Envy might have been able to pull out the victory royale, but I don't think they had a ton of eliminations. So we'll have to see where they sit on the leaderboard.
Yeah, they might not be right at the top because some of these teams I did see had like 8 or so eliminations and also were placing top 5. So that's really going to shake things up. I'm sure it's going to be pretty close after game 1. We'll have to see in a few minutes. Yeah, very, very intense first game. And it just goes to show in Reload, it's all about the timing because you can have a few players on your team get eliminated early, but then still bring it back if you have good timing, good rhythm with your team, and you're able to find some good loot throughout the map.
Yep. And that's just game number 1. We have 3 more to go in this competition, and maybe a switch up a map. We'll have to wait and see, but we're going to go into a quick break, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
I mean, first from me, I've got to highlight Moxie. Her solo clutch in that end game, just down at the bottom in the water and getting a couple eliminations from that as well, and clutching 3rd place for her team. Very impressive, the 3 HP clutch. You know, that's just taking it for me, to be honest.
Without Siphon, too. We were able to investigate just a little bit. Without Siphon, I don't know how that's possible. I'm not doing that. From swimming around in the water, picking up multiple eliminations, and pushing her team over that 10 elimination threshold as well. We will get a chance to look at the leaderboard in just a second, but the only team to reach double-digit eliminations, I mean, that's impressive in itself. That's more than a victory royale as it is.
Yeah, for sure. Getting those 10 eliminations is going to be so important, putting them high up on the leaderboard. And let's take a look right here.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so Moxie's team joint first with both 18 points right now. So that solo clutch from Moxie has really helped push them up the leaderboard. Even though they came 3rd place, jumping up into that 2nd, almost 1st kind of mark right here. And then we have Luca's team going down a little bit early, but Luca is an EU player, so moving to EU in this next game hopefully will get them up some extra points to see on the leaderboard, push them back up into some really high slots right here.
So we did confirm that we're going NA, EU, NA, EU. So we'll switch after every game. And again, there's some trios that could be all NA, some trios that are all EU, but for the ones that are mixed are the ones you really have to watch out for. We talked about Team Frantic was, I think, both of our predictions to really show out in this competition today. A little bit of a lackluster game 1, but now switching over to EU, Albaxta has the opportunity to really go crazy here in this next game.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going to learn from that slight mistake that they had rotating out from Tilted a little bit late and having to pass a team that was already fully established on the hill, and that team managed to pick off 2 of them while they were in the air on that rotate. So they're going to realize they need to rotate a little bit earlier and watch out jumping through the air, especially in squads. You have 4 players shooting you out the air. You're going to go down very, very quickly, especially builds. It's not 0 builds. They don't have that extra overshield. So it's going to be very, very intense to see if they learn from that for sure.
I think most players like to come into competitions like this with game plans, as in like which teams they're going to W key. If they're going to W key, where are they going to farm their mats? Who's looting what building? But in Reload, where we have the maps that switch every couple of minutes, then that game plan goes out the window sometimes, because for a tournament where it's only 4 games, it's kind of hard to have a consistent plan when the map is switching every single time. So as soon as they might have think, okay, we shouldn't push the team at Little Loot Lake as quickly, we need to take some more time to loot, we might be on a new map now. So that doesn't matter what you learn from game 1. You might have to completely switch things around. At least it keeps everyone on their toes. You know, it's an even playing ground all around.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to have to really learn to adapt very quickly in this with these map changes. Different teams around them. Some games they're going to be contested, some games they're not. Some games they're going to have a lot better loot than others, depending on where they're landing and who's around them, who's keying them, who are they keying to get some elimination points for the leaderboard. Yeah, it's going to be very intense to see what happens next.
I'll say most of these teams now have kind of seen what outfits everyone's wearing as well. So maybe they notice, they say, hey, that's a skin that I got full pieced by last game. Maybe we don't want to push that squad. We should kind of play a little bit less aggressively. Maybe they switch up the outfits. I don't know. Again, it is so hard in a lobby like this with such few number of teams. All these girls really know each other for the most part. Like, they've been competing against each other for event after event after event. Map.
Squid Game map. This is the one.
Switching
a lot of
up.
the teams on the leaderboard looked uncontested. We weren't sure where Moxie was landing with this map, but every other team looked like they were getting a free off spawn. No teams contesting them, able to grab their loot and kind of relax a little bit for the first half of the game before it's going to get intense very quickly later. I'm interested to see if Moxie's team did contest anybody. I don't see anybody going down in the elimination feed right now, so they might have landed at another split drop. But yeah, these teams are going to just try and loot up as quickly as they can, get as much materials so that they can get rotating. Oh, we do have an elimination up in the top of the screen. Carol going down right now.
So the knock and the confirm there. We'll have the opportunity to respawn. We have that timer that'll pop up in the top right of the screen, I believe. That'll notify everyone when the reload mechanic will turn off, meaning disabling respawns. For the time being, everyone seems to be relatively passive. All 40 out of 40 players still in this one. Reddish taking their time here to loot up the bunker here at the Labyrinth. Just careful to make sure there's no players lurking above. We see Lena getting knocked and confirmed there. Maybe looking for a bit of a respawn, get closer to the team possibly. But for now, Reddish will just try and make it rotate back towards center zone. Get these mats capped out as much as they can. And then play out the rest of this game.
Looks like a team has snuck up on Reddish, who's going to go on and get right out of there. They do have that first elimination of this game under their wing, so they're going to look to go off of that momentum. Red's just looking to cover Zelunio right now. Hope that she doesn't get eliminated by this team that snuck up onto them on a high ground. And maybe get some tags, because they might know that there's not really that many teams contested in this map. So it could even go to Storm Surge. You never know.
I hope it goes to Storm Surge, honestly.
That'll be very interesting. And especially as this map has so many layers to it as well. If it pulls to like the Labyrinth, for example, there's several tiers that go deep down into the map that will definitely divide the player base. So it's going to be very interesting to see where the zone eventually pulls, because a lot of teams are going to have loads of places to hide right now. Maddie going down. Sophie looking to get some counter tags on this team that's just got elimination on Maddie, rotating out to reset, so Maddie has time to respawn and get back into the game.
Everyone's just trying to play out just a little bit. Everyone's taking some fights here or there, just trying to look for the players that maybe aren't boxed up fully. They have an off angle, they can sneak up on them. You mentioned the terrain on this map. There's so much elevation change throughout this entire map that it makes it difficult to play safe, just because as the zone starts to shrink, it's so much easier to sneak up on players, just because there's so many different angles to cover. There's a hill here, there's a bush there, there's a big tree there, there's a underground bunker over here. This map is much slower playing, I think, than the other ones that we'll see.
For
and
sure.
as this plays out, we'll see that as well. But Frantic out back to Somerset, we saw them rotate out almost instantly in game number 1 to try and push a team, but in game number 2, they seem to be taking their sweet time here, trying to loot up, make sure they don't miss any chests.
Yeah, and it looks like they've done all of the challenges here, so they might have that mythic under one of the players. I think, if I'm correct, it will be Alba that would be carrying the mythic. Obviously, depends what item it is, but I think if they are choosing to take it, Alba would have it in her inventory. And this map as well, with the jungle biome, it's very easy to sneak up on players. As you see in the kill feed, a few picks are coming off here and there for some people just getting a 1 elimination on a team by just having an angle, seeing them first. So these teams have to be really aware, especially as more teams start rotating in here. You can see a couple teams have run up into each other right here. Helm's team in another tussle with Envy's team, with a few eliminations on the board. Helm's looking to reset, going back into zone using her shockwaves so that her team has time to respawn and get back into the game.
Big shots in the trade, back and forth, both players knocked. Swizzy, so unlucky there. The team's able to get the res off though. That quick little 5-second res here and reload as well makes a huge difference.
For sure. Especially that team res as well, when all of her team were there, so she's going to be able to keep her loot. All she has to do is heal and she's back in the game. She doesn't have to wait for that respawn counter, and she doesn't have to find more guns. She just has them. So that is fortunate for her that her team will buy for that trade.
And Frantic, Somerset setting up a little bit of an ambush here on edge zone. Bunch of teams having to make rotations in. Lena just on the outside, trying to see if they can pick off some of these players gliding in the distance. It's a long way away. Couple shots connecting, but not quite enough here. Fran and Somerset now seeming to pounce just on outside of the zone as well, holding them. So damage from them and damage from the Storm. Seem to be content with that. Maybe not able to pick up 1 elimination, but rather rotate back towards the center of this zone and then play out. Somerset taking a lot of damage here on the backside. Teammates having to turn to back them up. Sure that she doesn't get caught out. Daya holding the charge here just on the edge of this zone here. We'll pressure and try and tarp over, but again, they're kind of in a bad spot. Not a ton of materials left here, just leaving a build fight. And they have Girly Bella just above, pressuring down as well. It's starting to get a little bit scary.
Yeah, a lot of teams contesting around this side of zone. The very contested side. But they're going to look to rotate in. They don't have to go immediately. They can wait a little bit, take a few ticks of zone, just so these teams can kind of get off of them and quit shooting them. Especially with having the Mammoth in the game. It is such a hefty gun that you can hit some crazy shots with to get some opening tags on a team. Especially with this biome being all jungle, you can get some really kind of like sneaky shots onto teams as they rotate. So they're going to have to be extra cautious for that, because one headshot with the Mammoth, that's over 150 damage. And then a couple AR tags from your team spraying, you're going to go down very quickly. So they've just got to be extra careful, use their builds, and then get in, reform, so that they're ready for the end game.
So this jungle provides a little bit of protection to these players that are trying to make these scuffed rotations, don't have a ton of mats, or maybe they're missing a few teammates. But again, it also allows these teams that are fortified to catch players off guard. They get a little bit too close. We see condos in the distance, the only POI here. We see those airdrops starting to drop in as well. So plenty of loot around, but these teams having to make some solid rotations now, looking like Swizzy Envy moving out to try and take these airdrops, figuring it's going to be worth the trade-off. Frantic still looking to try and tag some players out the sky. 0 eliminations for this squad as it currently sits, which is pretty out of the ordinary. But again, this entire lobby still in the fight. Not a single player or team going down yet.
Yeah, but it's about to be a very intense endgame, especially where zone's pulling. I think there's a decent chunk in the water. So that means zone's likely to pull back. And as we can see here, there's already a lower layer coming out from the labyrinth of the team. Down below in the tunnel right here. So they're kind of have their back somewhat protected. But they're going to have to go on and rotate out towards Castle Condos.
It's like everyone playing so much more patient in this game. Maybe it's the map, I don't know. Maybe the competition. Everyone kind of thought that it would be a little bit easier to W key in these lobbies, but everyone really holding their own here, proving why they're invited to this tournament. So they'll have to slow things down. Boxed up so close together. 4 teams in such a close proximity. Somerset barely dodging the mammoth shot from Vader behind up on the high ground. 1 player gliding in. Vanessa finding the knock onto them. But Albaxna getting punished. A little bit of an over peak and a ton of damage dealt.
Yeah, that's a very, very good zone pull for them. And also Reddish's team, who are currently a little bit on low ground, that if zone pulled far, they would have had to rotate past Somerset's team, and that could have been very costly for them. So they're going to be very happy with the zone pull. They can kind of chill in those boxes for a little bit. And they do have a team coming around behind them, which I've just seen on the little mini-maps. They need to watch out for that. They don't got snuck up on from behind.
Uh-oh. Maddie NF running into some trouble here. 1 player up. Great move to crash pad away and box up. Gives the team that timer to get back into this before the reboot shuts off. But again, everyone just getting a little bit too close for comfort right now. We're running out of space in this zone. The storm is inevitable, and so is the fights. And here's one. Somerset finding another. Albaxna cleaning up Girly Bella. Still on the back foot,
yeah,
trying to
make
heal
the
back
most
up.
of this. But yeah, sorry, they're trying to make the most of this respawns because after this zone, there's going to be no more respawns. So long as at least one of your teammates are alive and can survive for another 30 seconds after the zone pulls, if you have been knocked and eliminated, you will spawn back. So now is the time, if you don't have endgame winning loot, to try get some picks. And right here, Somerset's team just did a perfect elimination, getting their mats almost capped out right here, and a good point on the board for them as well. And not to mention, it puts the team next to them in a little bit of shambles because they're going to have to wait at least almost 30 seconds now for that teammate to respawn in the air as well with only a grey weapon, a grey AR. So that's going to be kind of cooked for them to try bring it back, especially towards its end game. It's going to be slightly harder to get refreshes.
So much more work to do to recover if you're going down at this point in the game. And now you see that timer pop up. Reboots disabling here in less than 1 minute. Albaxna finding 1 elimination and the confirm. We'll give Melanie time to respawn, but again, not going to have a lot of loot. That gray AR, all that's going to work out. Somerset Fran playing super safe right now, using all the extra mats they got from that elimination moments ago to build out this tarp. These girls are just trying to make sure they get into this zone. Not a single player was in this zone when it formed, so everyone having to do the left foot, right foot to make it into this zone. So much pressure being applied, though. The teams that are deeper in this zone just spraying towards edge.
Yeah, all teams are still up right now. Even if some of the players are respawning, technically all the teams are still alive right now. And also, I think I've spotted Envy's team going back up for high ground after they won the first game from high ground. I think I've just seen them build up. So if they pull zone here, it might be all theirs unless teams start to look up and see, look, this team won from high ground last game. We need to maybe try take it so that we can kind of get that win advantage so that they can hopefully win this game.
They're set up for it right now. Height
Yeah.
being well established, a mega ramp being built in the distance. So a huge base for Envy. It worked once. Why wouldn't it work twice? A huge investment to build out this base, just hoping that they'd pull zone, and they did. So now everybody else having to rotate in below them while they continue to apply pressure. They're just holding these teams out. Girly Bella just barely making it in on 75 HP. Swizzy spraying teams just below. This whole team, have to remember, in squads, you have so many materials, so holding on the height this early is doable, but you have to work twice as hard to hold on to it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like they're not quite high enough for some of these Fizz crash pads going past them, so they might get landed on, and they just did. So they need to watch that. It looks like they are trying to fight for high ground because they know how important it is to win this game. Swizzy going back up. Only 2 of them on high ground. So they might try force them down. Frantic's team. I saw that Somerset was looking up at height. Seems Swizzy's team have managed to keep it.
So what a great job to hold on to it there. Like, really looking shambles for a second, having to burn so many materials. But again, if you're going to invest for high ground this early, you kind of have to hold on to it. If they tried to drop now, they'd have no materials to play mid ground. So doing such a good job to hold on to it. They have the Fizz in inventory to drop down, but the crash pad will be used instead right on top of Fran. They'll be able to build right back up, though, reconnecting their base. The teams are now moving up to height. Swizzy with no mats. They have the elimination count, but they want to hold on to height. Just has to mantle straight back up. And the teammates looking down. No problems for Swizzy. 0 mats and no problems.
Yeah, they're going to try and look to get some free picks right here. See if they can find any knocked bodies on the ground so they can drop down. Get those material refreshes because it's going to be hard for them to keep height with not that many mats on their team.
This full team still in the mix now, holding on. Vanessa on the low ground there. K-Moore is leading the charge. Vader's trying to look for an opportunity to get into the zone here. They'll go ahead and throw a med miss smoke grenade on backside of zone. There is so much action going on mid ground. It's a complete mess. 30 players still in this one. 9 out of 10 teams. A big shot. Didn't take it down. Madoka picking up another elimination. That'll be a big number for them. They'll find that refresh, but now only 2 players left in the mix. They have control of this low ground position.
Yeah, I was going to say they're in quite a good spot not having anybody fight them, but then a solo just jumping into the box, taking them both out, unfortunately. But Envy's team still somewhat chilling on high ground, looking kind of unhealthy. They've run out of mats, it seems, so they're just going to play back, play a med kit, try drop down and get some mats from some players. Not that many players are looking up, so they're kind of okay right now. They're going to look still to try to get more picks and pressure some other teams that are looking healthy on low ground so they don't try come up and contest them.
Holding on, 2 big shots on backside. Swizzy goes down. They'll lose high ground control. Envy, the only one left in this game. Lena trying to crawl back in zone, dropping heals. Want to mark them so they have that heal off potential. Nina now, they took straight to the high ground. They made that backside zone rotate, snuck up to height, and now they have full control with all 4 team members still in the fight.
Yeah, with 8 eliminations on the board, make that almost 9 right now. They're looking really good, pretty healthy, good materials, and with zone pulling up this hill. Looks like they're going to get some picks with some solos coming up, contesting them early. And it's just low-key, just a zone wars build fight right now with Nina on high ground.
So hold
Looks
on
like
to
there
it.
may be a couple solos healing off in zone right now, trying to secure that second place because they'll know that there's only a trio left. As Yaz comes in second place after popping a med kit in zone. Very well played for Nina, Vanessa, and K-More's Vader's team.
With, I think, breaking our elim record as well. If I counted it right, I think there was 11 eliminations, which 10 being the last one to make it 11 now here. And we shifted over to EU. I don't know about you, Ruby. I think the EU games might be better than the NA games. I mean, that was an insanely stacked endgame.
Yeah, for sure. And zone pulling right onto the edge of the water. Some players going down the cliff and then having to make their way back up as zone pulled back in towards the main center of the map. Very, very intense. But Nina's team, they played that very well, taking high ground at the perfect time. They must have looked up and seen there's not an established high ground. They don't have mats. And they were weak from tanking zone because of not having any mats. So that was a very good timing for them to take that high ground and ultimately win the game.
That's 2 out of 2 games being won from high ground. It's either take it early or take it late. This time around, taking it late was the way to go. We saw this squad playing zone, using those med miss smoke grenades to buy them some time when they had low materials, and they just snuck straight up onto high ground while they were shambles, and it's just a free win. It seemed like it was almost easy for them. They had so much loot. They were all healthy. I mean, that was a perfectly played final zone for them.
Yeah, I mean, playing mid-ground, getting some eliminations, stacking up, making sure they have full health, then realizing there's nobody on height. Let's go up to height, get this win. They did that at the perfect time, caught the other team a little bit off guard as they were pretty weak and just had no materials to then fight them for height, as they were already contested for high ground earlier on in that game. So they had to use a lot of utility in order to survive that push onto high ground and keep it, but not for too long.
Yeah. It's all about timing, and we'll have to see more of that as well. Maybe we'll get another switch up on the map. I don't know. Maybe we'll be right back on to Squid Games. We'll have to wait and see. But we still have 2 more games to go. We're only halfway through the competition, and it feels like we just got started. But we have to go to a quick break, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
and I'm way too cold. You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Boy, got a cold sick as the illest. Break this, boy, I'm funded. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Yes, I meant it. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Radiant Invitational. We're halfway through the action with 2 games left to go. We've had 2 maps, 2 different winners, and 2 games of nonstop action. Ruby, my expectations were pretty high coming into the competition today, but they've been far exceeded at this point. I mean, game number 2 was definitely my favorite so far, but we saw some crazy zone plays. Vader coming out with the win. I mean, how are you feeling so far?
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy game. Kind of expected for that map to be a little bit more like action towards the end of the game compared to at the start. Whereas the first game, there was kind of a bit more action throughout. But yeah, that zone pull towards the end, going off the map kind of and then back onto it, having players having to adjust that crazy zone pull, and the map being a bit more sneaky, players playing in bushes to try and get free picks on some other teams. So yeah, very good zone pull for that.
I would say that map might play very differently than the other maps we've seen, honestly. I mean, just the fact that there's that jungle biome, it just changes everything completely. You lose line of sight on players so easily. You can't chase as easily. If you try and shockwave, you get stuck in trees. It's an entire mess in there. But again, for players, it just means they have to be more selective with the plays that they do want to make. And the winners from last game made some insane plays to pull out with the win because it didn't look like they were going to do it for a minute there.
Yeah, for sure. They chose to go up on high ground at the perfect timing. I think Vader might have been the IGL of that team, and she always makes some very good IGLing skills. I've watched her play quite a lot of tournaments, and yeah, pulling like the team up onto high ground when the other team that was on high ground for the entirety of the game was a bit in shambles. Perfect timing to get Team K-More's the win on that round.
I was going to say, sure. We talked about duos being paired with 2 great players to round out a solid team here. Vader and Nina, the duos coming out and playing here in a squad. These 2, I'm sure, I mean, it kind of sucks we don't have to listen to the comms here, but again, that play for low ground, that's a pro level play. Like, you didn't get the call to go up to high ground there. They were playing the med miss smoke grenade deep zone that opened up space for them to move up towards high ground. That was exactly what you needed to do. They knew teams were taking height way too early, and they were going to be shambles. So that playback zone opened it up for them to pull out the win there. Such a great decision. We'll have to see if it can continue through the rest of these games. We're only halfway through the competition, and they were able to pull out the win, and I think they also broke our elimination record, but we'll have to take a look at the leaderboard to confirm that.
Yeah, so here we've got Team Melly just taking the lead after winning game 1. They now, in that last game, obviously got quite a few eliminations. Yeah. I can see they've got a total of 22 eliminations in both of the games. So a very consistent team in first place right now, followed by Moxie's team and then K-More's team, who won that last game, jumping up to 3rd place with 29 points. So it is very close for the leaderboards. The 8-point gap is going to give Team Melly's team a little bit of a something to fall back on, but with 1 elimination per, 1 point per elimination and then 10 for the win, that can all change pretty quickly, especially with 3rd and 4th place tied as well.
Yeah, and let me correct myself. I said that K-More's team was able to break the elimination record with 11. I was totally wrong. Envy company breaking the elimination record with 14 in the last game.
Oh, wow.
14 eliminations. Absolutely insane. They maybe weren't able to pull out the win. They were only able to secure 5th place in the last game, but 14 eliminations, I'd say that well makes up for it. That's the equivalent of a 9 elimination win, which if you're doing that every game, you're going to win. It's just flat out, you're going to win. And now with that 8-point buffer, they're set up in a really good spot here to just trying to coast the last 2 games here, as long as they can stay consistent.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and knowing that, you have that points buffer, other teams are going to start realizing, wow, it is so important to get a lot of eliminations. Even if you're not getting the top 3, getting a top 5 with high eliminations is going to really boost you up the leaderboard or keep you high up the leaderboard if you're already up at the top, for sure. And I'm just looking at K-More's team, all an NA team, and this next game is going to be an NA match, and they just won that game on EU. So, and they're all on high ping, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they play in this and whether they're going to be able to break, like, maybe coming first and second on the leaderboard after this game. I'm intrigued to see what's happening next.
And I don't know if people at home fully understand, like, going from NA to EU, like, if you're an EU player playing on NA servers, it is a huge difference in the way that you can play. Like, what you are capable of doing on your home servers, you just aren't able to do when you play on other servers where you're on 100+ ping. You have to slow things down, almost even to like 50% at times. So you really have to rely on your teammates, make sure that your comms are top notch so that you make sure all the proper information is being communicated, because as much as you want to contribute and make that game-winning play, maybe you're one that wants to jump out of the tarp to go for that refresh, you just can't do it if you're on 100 ping sometimes. So you have to make sure that you are playing with your teammates and relying on them, and you have confidence in your teammates as well. And it comes down to which team is the most solid team all together cohesively. And right now, there are plenty that are in contention here. It is so close. A 9-point threshold between first all the way down to 4th place. So that could change in an instant. And we're only halfway through.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, the gap between even 2nd and 4th place, only 1 elimination.
Yeah.
That's going to switch things up quite a lot coming into these last couple games. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy to see what happens there. Just 1 elimination can make the difference between quite a lot of money on this final leaderboard.
Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting. And again, we broke down the drop maps just a little bit going into that game. Can we pull back up production? Can we please pull up the drop map from the last game real quick? I wanted to take a look at it to see where some of our top competitors are landing. Just because we see most of them staying uncontested, but they're rotating out quickly enough that they can stay towards the center of the map. Most of these teams that are doing well really don't have to move much, and they're not investing a ton of materials early game. Interesting enough, though, K-Moore's Costly Condos really didn't pull zone all too much last game.
I mean, I thought it wasn't Costly kind of towards endgame, though? Because
just off to the right, right?
Yeah, just off to the right of Costly Condos, and they ended up winning that game, so they must have played zone very well there, and not having to rotate through all the middle and jungle biomes must have really helped this team stay with good loot and stuff towards the end, and ultimately helped them get that win, as zone did pull up the hill and slightly further away from their POI.
And it kind of worked out well. Team Melly, right? The team that's in first place right now, if I'm not mistaken, they had a long way to go, and they really didn't rotate through any teams on the way in. So I don't think they focused on those mid-game eliminations. They're just racking them up in endgame, just taking high ground early, pressuring down as a team, making sure they're lobby focusing and making sure they're 4-person spraying the same box. They're just farming these eliminations. If they're able to communicate that well in late game as a squad and continue to hold on to high ground in those earlier zones, I'm not sure if you could stop them, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd also say, arguably, their drop spot on this map is low-key, if you look at the loot, whether it is spread on this map, Phony Crossroads has the least amount of chest spawns and the least amount of loot right there. So even though they did arguably have the worst drop on this POI, they're still first place on the leaderboard and still managed to rack up a high elimination 5th place in that last game. So when it comes to reload, it's not so much about the loot, it's about your timing, teamwork, and maybe taking high ground, because it's won both games high ground has. So yeah, very interesting.
We'll have to see. I mean, honestly, if I'm some of these teams right now, you're seeing high ground winning or at least getting the most points 2 games back to back. You kind of have to contest it at that point. If you're lower on the leaderboard and you're confident going back to NA, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Frantic, Canary, Somerset, we see them just full cranking once we get towards the end zones, just 90ing up the high. We'll take another look at the leaderboard here so you guys can see how close these points are. It's really anyone's game with two rounds left.
Yeah, and Frantic's team, I mean, they do play a lot of Zone Wars games, and so I'm sure they're going to be PGing and getting that high ground and really putting those skills that they have into use to try get that high ground and win the game, because they need a high kill elimination to bring them back up to get at least top 5 on this leaderboard. So I'm sure they're going to pull out some different strategies in these last couple games to see them go up.
And Team Frantic was predicted, I think, for both of us to do pretty well in this competition. And they're playing aggressively. Like, they're playing uber confident in these zones and in these games. But it's just bad timing after bad timing. It feels like they end up getting third party. One player gets picked off, or they try and make a solo play. So maybe we see them try and slow things down just a little bit. They did in the last game. We saw them spend a lot more time looting before those later zones, but they're just rotating a little bit too late, not being able to find themselves in a power position to do what they do best, which is rack up these eliminations. So still plenty of time to make adjustments, but they need to do it now.
For sure, halfway through, the leaderboard can fully tip the other way if the top teams don't stay consistent and hold on to these points, and also get some more elimination points on the board, because that's really what is setting Team Melly apart from everybody else right now. 38 points, and they have 22 eliminations, and in second place they have 14 eliminations total. So that is the difference. Also, obviously, being consistent and placing really high. But yeah, eliminations are very, very important for these teams.
And we'll get a little bit of insight here. Tokyo Rado, or Tokyo Ratio. Let me enunciate properly here. I don't know how familiar you are with Tokyo, but she's insane. Like, really, really good. Like, really good. Watching some of the highlights from the Milk Cup and some of these past events is a really, really good fighter. So to see them in this lobby doing so well together here as I don't want to say an underdog team, but maybe not a first pick for some people or for the viewers at home. It's really great to see them executing so well on their strategy.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Envy, known as one of like the top female players competitively, she's always amazing, a very good fragger, along with Melly, Lena. EU girls reffing right here. They're doing very well. They need to just keep what they're doing, hold on to that first place, and see how it goes, and also make sure that they can keep that high ground so they don't get it swiped for them by one of the other teams, like Vader's team.
They're doing such a good job here. We'll get into the last game just momentarily, making sure that everyone gets into the lobby. We don't want to make sure anyone gets left out. We'll be loading in here in just a moment. As far as predictions go, we have 2 games left. I mean, Ruby, you predicted Frantic at the beginning. I will give you an opportunity. I am kind of like the host, so I'm going to put you on the spot, not me, because it's easier that way. But would you switch up your prediction? Would you stick with Frantic? How are you feeling?
Well, I think Frantic's team are definitely going to bring it back. They do have a lot to bring back, though. Just almost 20 points behind first place right now. So we're going to see how that plays out. But they do have the capabilities to get a lot of eliminations, and I want to see this team getting more and really utilizing that. Alba is known for being one of the best fraggers on EU and like globally in the women's leagues. For playing Fortnite, and so they really need to put her to use, maybe send her off, go get some eliminations, come back, especially in those end games. They need to get on high ground, to be honest, and let Alba go down and play the lower layers, pick off some eliminations, and then have high ground to fall back on. They need to start utilizing that, get those elimination points, but it's looking like, I think Vader's team, even though they're in third place right now, they're only a few eliminations off, 9 eliminations off first place, points-wise. I think that they might pull out the win if Lena's team is not too careful right now, to be honest, because Vader's a very strong IGL, and that's so important in this type of game mode being reload. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen, but I think Vader's team might come up first place, to be honest. That's what I'd bet my money on.
Yeah, it plays so differently here in squads that the players that thrive in duos might not be able to put it together here in squads. It all comes down to who has a great IGL and who can coordinate the best. But we still have 2 games left to go. The battle bus is loaded. We're going to be getting into game in just a second. So I'm excited. Ruby, we have 2 games left. Do you think we see any repeat victory royales? Are any teams going to be getting a second VR here in these last 2 games?
Well, we are going on to NA right now, I am correct with that. So I'm not sure. Vader's team pulling out their win on EU, I think they can do it again on NA. I mean, I know that they can. It's just there's a lot of other NA-specific teams that I know are going to start going for high ground. So it's going to be interesting to see if Vader times it perfectly, gets that high ground, calls to our teammates, get up here, we're taking it, and maybe they'll win this next game. I'll put my votes on Vader's team winning this.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Just on this game alone, Vader, you locking it in. Honestly, I'm with you. I'll back that.
Yeah.
I'll back that. Vader's
Hopefully
team,
we don't give them the caster's curse right now.
Oh,
That'll
don't
be a
say
bit
it.
tragic.
If you say it, then it puts it into reality. So.
No, I said it before the game, so maybe it's
That's
not.
true. Before the game, or maybe it's already started and we don't even know yet. Game 3 is underway here. Straight onto Steamy Stacks and onto a new map.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple teams that contested Alba with 2, or is that more eliminations off the rip? 2 eliminations and from Alba right here. So I'm intrigued to see how that's going down in Slurpee Swamp. Alba's team seeing to push Dyer's team out of Slurpee so that they can claim all of this loot. So Alba must have really outdropped them and definitely got the gun in order to kill two of the other teams so quickly.
This is one of those POIs. It's a really big drop, and people think that it might be splittable, but it's really a 50-50. We talk about the stack in the middle, right? Where that chest on top, players landing to try and grab that and take somebody out of the sky. You really have to focus on securing that center building, because if you don't, you just get pushed out so easily. So we see Frantic, Somerset Canary, I mean, they're holding onto this drop in game number 1. Maybe we'll see one more on this. We've had a different map every single game up until this point, so we might see another switch, but good tidings that they are able to hold on to this drop here right off the rip.
And Alba with another elimination, already 3 eliminations on the board within like a minute. So maybe Fran is doing what I mentioned and just sending Alba to go pick up some eliminations early. Even though she's on high ping right now, on NA, Alba would be playing on 100 ping right now. So, but she's proven that ping doesn't make a difference. I'm still warning this team off my POI. They need a backup so my team can get the loot. And yeah, and then they get some eliminations on the board as well, which is really good for Frantic's team right now.
So it's more than just securing the drop. You got to make sure you put pressure on these teams around you, and looking like once again, Frantic and Co rotating out early. They know that there's a ton of teams landing here on this south side of the zone, so they'll leave their drop spot early to try and connect some shots. Somerset finding Luca, taken down there. She wants some more. Looking to see if she can spot up this player there, but a bailout crash pad to rotate away back towards Stilt Town, where most of these fights are going on at. Boom and base now looking to see some action here. They'll rotate in and try and find these players who seem to be hiding close by.
Yeah, Qtrix seems to be aware that there is a player hiding. Moxie seems to have found her, getting that elimination on the board onto Detect. And some nicer limbs. These teams are seeming to be a little bit more aggressive on this map. And yeah, with Alba's team also already having 7 eliminations on the leaderboard, which is, I think, almost more than they've had in some full matches. Yeah. So they're really utilizing this map and getting these eliminations on the board, especially with their drop being center of the map. So they can afford to go off a little bit and then come back because they know that they've got pretty much the first 1 or 2 zone pools pretty much in the bag.
Seems like everyone's more comfortable on this map. They just kind of know where to loot, where they're going to be W-keying to. Everyone seems to be on the move and moving with purpose here. But we see Vader, the mythic grappler, in inventory, so a huge pickup to play aggressive in this game. Nina K-Moore is now rotating back up towards Boom and Base. Qtrix trying to look, but Vader wants to try and take the fight to them now, dropping on the wall. Looking to try and get some piece control, or at least control of high ground. It's going to be a full-on build fight. Vader spotting this out now. Stuck in a glide. Having to try and reposition here in a lower layer. Moxie's low. Vader finds a full piece. A 130 pump. Can't connect on the second. Ronaldo taking them out. Nina having to rotate away. K-Moore's just trying to play their life. A big aggressive push, but it's just not going their way this time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but the thing is, reload, so long as at least one of your teammates survives and gets far enough away from the other teams, then they can respawn above them and get that loot. There's an airdrop close by as well, so I wonder if one of them will go land on that, get some more weapons, and get back into the fights.
They still have control of their drop spot here, or at least a POI. It seems it to be empty for now. The team will start to glide on in. They have a slurp truck, so it can get the rest of the squad shielded up quickly. You called out those airdrops. Seems to be exactly what they're doing here. One player dropping onto that airdrop close by, but some more eliminations in the feed there, rattling off. We already have one team down and out of this game, so now permanently only 36 players left here as we move into third zone.
Yep, and Dirty Docks is a very good POI to kind of fall back on. There's a lot of chest spawns here. And also with this map being the Slurpee map, there's a lot of slurp barrels just dotted around the map, slurp trucks, to help teams that are in a little bit more shambles or like retreating a little bit to get back up on their feet. They can get that extra health easily, so then they can keep their like health that they're like having their inventory towards late game, so that they can really be healthy the entire match.
So you can take
in
those
zone fight going on.
Yeah, so you can take those smaller fights and dip away, save your heals, use those barrels. So maybe that's why these players are just more willing to take fights. They know they're not going to get as punished as badly if they do not come out on top. They could just rotate away, maybe hop into the slurp water, heal back up. There's plenty of options here to play out and try and secure all of these placement points, or at least guarantee endgame. Victoria grabbing this last slurp truck here out of Slurpee Swamp. Sitting in zone, though, taking damage for just a little bit here, but looks like a bunch of players in the lobby here doing the same, though. Reddish being caught out. Down and out. Nina finding the confirm there. Vader the one to deal the brunt of the damage.
Help with another elimination on the board. And she gets taken out by Daya, it seems.
Vader's lurking. Such a different loophole here. They have those snipers, and
Good snipe.
they could cause some serious problems. The insta crash pad. Vader not going to let this player get away. Wants to fully chase down Yanni. Just spam shockwaving so low. Just needs to connect on one more shot. Vader fully committed to this now. Knows that it's going to be worth it. Every single point is 10% of a win, so it's so worthwhile there. Switching targets. Reddish taking some damage out of the sky. Gets knocked by B in the distance as well. Just so many players here in such a small space.
Yeah, Vader needs to watch out that no third parties come into play while she's trying to get this elimination onto Yanni. Yanni has had time to fully heal up, so... Oh, catches Vader by surprise. That's what you gotta watch out for. That is really what you gotta watch out for in this reload map. Because the quick heals, people can really bring it back.
Vader's so confident, but you have to respect every single player in this lobby. They're here for a reason. There are no free elims. Blondie trying to hold the wall here for the teammates to grab the rest of the loop before getting out, but in such an awkward layer here, stuck inside of this plane or this wreckage, really with nowhere to go. Needs a teammate to edit them out so they can move somewhere else. Girly Bella knocked just outside the box. Not going to be worthwhile to grab her for now. Just play the reboot. Somerset putting pressure onto another team as well. They're taking a box fight, just, again, trying to play one box away, and big shots on to the players inside now. They're going to panic shockwave away. One is knocked. Daya's even lower. Every player on this team being one shot.
Yeah, they're going to try pick up these eliminations right now. They know how important it is. They've got over 9 eliminations on the board already for this match. So if they keep this up, it may be looking like they're going to get a 20+ bomb right now. They might have a really high kill win. So yeah, look at them really using this momentum. Both Canary and Alba with 5 eliminations on the board, just the two of them.
Talked about...
They're really getting crazy with it.
Yeah. Talked about Frantic being able to bounce back. They already have 13 elims, and we're in 5th zone. We're not even halfway through the game yet. They have so much time to continue to rack this up. When you said 20 bomb, I had to do some math, and that's not my strong suit, but I can at least count the 20, and they're getting pretty darn close.
Yep, and they're going to keep this momentum up, try Try to get some more picks and maybe even look for high ground if they get any eliminations towards moving zones. Maddie's team also with a lot of eliminations right now. They were bottom on the leaderboard, but with these high eliminations, they might be able to rack up some points here, get up the leaderboard for sure.
Maddie connecting on big tags here. This team also having a ton of eliminations now, over that 10-point threshold, or 10 elimination threshold. And they're in zone, so just trying to hold out these teams. They have plenty of ammo to go around, so they're just spraying and spraying and spraying, continuing to apply pressure. Frantic finding another elimination there in the feed. Everyone will have to rotate in now. You can see the crash pads coming out. Maddie trying to connect with that mammoth pistol can be devastating for a team if you can connect a headshot, but they'll find themselves a nice little spot here on front side low.
For sure. They're in a very good spot in zone, and it's likely to pull back towards them as well. So that'll set them up nicely, especially as she didn't seem to have too many materials. She had 50 builds total, and I'm assuming that's pretty split across their teams. So they're going to need a few refreshes going into this endgame. And Alba looking here, seeing three other enemies in zone, trying to get these free picks. Also looking to take high ground at the same time, it seems. Holding this team off because it's about to be a 5-tick. So they're going to be getting pretty hurt in zone right now.
Really trying to find some space to evaluate their game plan here. Just try and get back into the fight here, but just so much pressure. Albaxna getting the last tag onto Jasmine deep in this zone. They have to find a way in. Not to mention the reboot timer is already on. So 50 seconds left. So if you're going to make a crazy play, you have to do it soon. And Frantic taking high ground so early now up on the high. They have it established so well. Moxie up close and personal with this team in zone, and they will fall there. Reddish also falling in the feed. This is a rough game for some players.
For sure. And also look at the eliminations from Moxie's team as well. Some of these big confident teams really putting to work this game and getting these elimination points because they know how important it is to shake up the leaderboard a little bit.
The sniper can change anything, though. I like this from Moxie right now. Looking up towards height, trying to connect. One headshot snipe. That's an instant green light to crank.
Yeah.
Moxie's the one who's been entrusted now. The sniper's in her hands. Needs to keep looking for these picks because that's how you could rack up these kills in endgame.
For sure. No more reboots as well. So
there it is.
Oh, there we go. And on Alba as well. But with this res time being only 5 seconds, unless when you have a group res, they've got it off really quick. Alba's back up. Somerset going down. Such a good snipe from Moxie, allowing her team to take high ground and getting a refresh. And they'll also know that Alba is pretty weak as well right now.
They'll keep moving for it. Now they have height, and they didn't even have to use their own mats. They just waited for high ground to overpeak. The instant headshot snipe and the elimination to follow that up. They'll get the points and now control of this entire lobby. 15 eliminations on the board now for this squad, and they just took height.
Yep, and they'll know that Alba had been getting a lot of eliminations this game, and so has the opportunity to overtake them. But now that they're only a trio, losing Somerset in that push for height, then they're going to have to really put in work to clutch up some points here.
Players falling. Moxie holding a really high ground right now. They're several layers above any other team, and there it is. The Fizz off of high ground to reconnect to this base just on the opposite side, so they don't even have to tarp across. They just take control once again. Still using that mammoth to try connect on some of these teams using crash pads for rotates. They don't have to invest anything. We see them burning through materials, but they've got 3 other players to hold on to this high ground position, and it pulls over the water. They've got ulti and high ground established. Complete dominance right now from height.
Oh, for sure. It's looking like a free win for them, I can't even lie. But the game is not as stacked as well because a lot of teams have been going for eliminations, putting a lot of teams into straight shambles, to be honest. But there is Vader on low ground, which I've spotted, and they're looking pretty healthy down there, so they might be getting quite a few eliminations. And also a lot of mats, so they might be able to take high ground from Moxie, so they need to watch out.
They've
spotted
low.
them here. They know that they're a healthy and stacked team, so putting in that quad spray, trying to waste some of their materials.
They don't have a ton of mats, but they're just applying pressure so well. They have so much ammo. Moxie's still with over 400 AR ammo. So they're going to hold on to it for now. Just need to keep in mind for these shockwaves. And there it is, the shockwave up and the shockwave out. We'll be able to grapple straight back into it, so no problems there. Instantly recovered. Ronaldo deep in zone, though. Might have lost one teammate in the process, but at least 3 are still pressuring down on this lobby, who are complete shambles below. Just scampering, trying to pick up eliminations while they can. Moxie they have full control right now.
Alba's still alive right next to K-Mor's team. Try to clutch up. I think she might be a solo on low ground. And then Amira's team as well, having a lot of pressure put down from Moxie. Amira and Jade going down.
Vanessa finding
Alba
2 of
just
those.
getting eliminated.
Looking into back zone.
7 eliminations for
Just
Regs right now.
Farming, no sign of slowing down. Vader coming through the builds. Tried to look for an odd angle there to get the shot on. Finds the confirm onto Yaz, but not the last player in zone. We have one playing for heal off and a trio down below. It's all in Ronaldo's hands here to try and pick up some of those last eliminations. The teammates are playing for heal off, so we'll need to frag out as best they can.
Yeah, she's doing so good picking up these eliminations of weakened teams on the low ground. Helping their team get points while they're also on high ground. Kind of securing the win for her right now. So her job just to weaken... Oh, crazy shot onto Vader. Oh, and get as much eliminations as she can. 10 on the board for her. Getting that dub. What a game.
I think that secured
Is
the
that 20 bomb? I think that was.
I saw 5, 3, 2, and 10 from them to barely slip through with the 20 bomb victory royale in game 3. Of all ways to win, that's the way to do it. I mean, there is no other way. Just complete masterclass from them. They didn't invest too many mats early. They played mid ground to the last moment they could. Then they got the headshot snipe onto high ground and went straight for it and just coasted the rest of this game.
Yep. And getting those eliminations, so many teams with some players having like 5, 8 eliminations going into this end game. So impressive. These teams are really putting in the work in this game. And Regs and Moxie working that high ground, making sure that Regs has something to fall back to while she goes down and pretty much causes all the teams on low ground to be straight shambles, putting in so much damage left, right, and center, getting some eliminations onto these players that are just running around trying to survive on low ground, securing a 20 bomb at least.
Just fragging
I
out.
can't do the full maths, but that's at least 20.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to do better than a game like that. I mean, Team Moxie putting on a masterclass in this last round to pull out the win there, letting their fraggers do their jobs and letting the support players secure that win. Couldn't have changed a single thing. Honestly, really well done here from these teams. They had the mobility. They used it when they needed to. They saved their mats down to the last second. And they let their fraggers put in the work. So B, Regs, Qtrix, Moxie taking out the game number 3 win there. What a showing.
Yep. Such a crazy team. Really, really pulling out all the stops in that game. Very impressive work for them.
So they did such a good job to hold on. If they weren't in first going into that game, which they were close, but they weren't there, they've got to be close now. They have to be.
Oh,
there's no
definitely.
way. I don't want to spoil anything for everyone at home, but I might have a sneak peek at the leaderboard, and it might
I definitely did too.
it might be a little bit scary the rest of the teams are going to have a bit of a mountain to climb here going into the last game. We'll see. I'm assuming we'll see the map switch up going into last game. So if the order is correct, that means it should be. Which map is this? It should be,
it might be the Pleasant Park.
Straight back to the OG map. Straight back. Tilted Towers, Pleasant Park, which is, if you can make those changes from game number 1, maybe we see a big team drop another 20 bomb to counter. But even on top of that, if Moxie even stays relatively consistent through game 4, it's going to be so hard to catch.
Oh, for sure. And with this map, if it is the Pleasant Park map, it is a very kind of flat layout. So you can see teams for a lot further than you have in the past 2 maps. So there's going to be a lot of third partying going on. It's going to be a lot harder to get some of the somewhat free eliminations as we saw in the last round. And yeah, it's really going to put these teams to work. You don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want to get caught third partied, because then that could be your game over, just like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see which map it is and how they perform.
Say it only takes one play. Like, you really only need one play. But the last part that we need to talk about is the fact that we're going back to EU for game 4. Yep. That's going to change everything for these players. Again, we saw Frantic and company really kick it into gear in the last game. They were showing out. They were getting those early game eliminations, but we were on NA. Now we're going back to EU. So that same aggression they were carrying into game 3, they might not be able to carry into game 4, but then that also opens up the door for Albaxna to do her thing. So there's so much to consider. I really don't know which way this could go. As dominant as Moxie's game 3 run was, it's really up in the air for anyone. I mean, if you see a 20 bomb as possible in a lobby like this, especially in reload, you could go even higher than that. You could get 30, 40 eliminations. You just have to make sure that you don't make any big mistakes. You take a good piece. If you take the wrong right hand, all it takes is one shot and your entire game is ruined. So it's really up to anyone. But Ruby, we do have to go to a quick break, I'm pretty sure, here before the last game. So we have one more left to go. Everyone at home, you're not going to want to miss it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm a problem when I'm on top like this why this sign of flow. Ay, gotta keep my fur coat close, cause I'm a boss and I'm way too close. You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Bro got a code sick as the illest. Break this, boy, I'm funded. Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Yes, I meant it, yeah, man, I'm way too cold.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Radiant Invitational. My name is Ben K. I'm alongside the lovely Ruby Plays, and we are 3 games down, 1 to go. Ruby, it's been absolutely nonstop action, start to finish. We've seen 3 different maps, 3 different winners. We've seen a 20 bomb. We've seen height dominate. We've seen low ground dominate. I don't know what's left to give, but I know for a fact this last game is going to be one to remember.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're combining it all for the last game, pulling out just everything that they've got. I'm sure some of these teams looking pretty good on the leaderboard, but with 20 bombs in play, it can be taken over just like that, especially with how stacked these games are. No teams, like only one team, I think, in the last 3 games have been eliminated before going into endgame, before the reboots have been disabled. So it is all to play for. Team Moxie, first place, with a 10-point lead, followed by K-Moors, and then Team Melly's team, unfortunately, has dropped down into 3rd place right now. Moxie's team, I've just seen, has an average of 11 elimination points per game, with 34 eliminations total, followed by Vader's team with 27 eliminations. What are you thinking?
That's absolutely speechless. I mean, 11.3 eliminations, like, per game.
Yeah.
We have to understand, a win is 10 points. It's 1 point per elimination. So they're averaging more points than a win in just eliminations alone every single game. So at that rate, you basically have to win and drop an additional 10 eliminations and then also eliminate them at the very, like, basically before they land. And then you can win. You can win. It's easy at that point. All you have to do is take them out before they land. That's a super achievable goal for everyone on this lobby, I'm sure. They also have an average placement of 2nd, which is insane. A third, and then a 1st, with that 1st place being a 20 bomb win. So they're on fire right now. But again, we have so many heavy hitters as we work our way down this leaderboard. Team K-Moore is absolutely balling out in these first 3 games, still very much in contention if they can have a good game, and Moxie makes a few mistakes. Mel also still in the fray right now. Frantic's also still in the fray. I mean, it comes down to the last game. It's exactly how I want it, and we're gonna waste no time, straight into the action.
Yeah, it seems we've got the Squid Game map again. It is not the one that we predicted.
Wow.
It's the Squid Game one. So this is going to be very interesting, as we know that this is the sneaky map, as we were calling it earlier. So much loot on this map as well, with these drops. Like, doing these Squid Game challenges can get you some really good guns, as we see the legendary Scar right here from Mox. Oh, and she just... That is all highly unfortunate. When you get eliminated to any of these Squid Game challenges, you do respawn, as we see. But she will lose all of her loot, and she will have to restart again to start looting up. And we see a new team getting contested in the center here, as a little 2-on-2 fight goes along. And Maddie in the bottom corner. You can see 3 teams going in for the Labyrinth right now.
Whoa, just farming elimination points for now. Labyrinth being a popular
like
spot.
A little surprise contestant going on here, it seems.
It's just trading back and forth. Girly Bella and Co. 4 eliminations already, so a whole team's worth. Still no one out yet, so everyone getting that opportunity to reboot here, but we do see still some players gliding in. So again...
Yeah, I think they have surprise contested Amira and Yasmin, Karu and Jade right now in the Labyrinth. Jasmine trying to take out Karu right now. She might be the last player on that team.
Not slowing down either.
Not. Luckily, she's not the last player. There is somebody else on that team still alive to hopefully get them back in the game.
Yasmin was full committed to that. Not going to let the player get away, but Detect here stuck on 30 HP, and Vader being the one on the other side of those shots. So needing to be careful. She'll hit those shots when it counts, so cannot give her any space. just caught out. The tech goes down. Blondie using the last bit of materials that she has to box back up and try and take this box fight. Now closing the distance. The rest of the team in the fight. Jasmine here to back up the teammates. A big 160 shot. Vader not able to win that engagement. Blondie taking him out, but traded back by the teammate. Now Yasmin in a 1v1 here on top of the build fight. Girly Bella still looking to try and find some space here to get some help. Yasmin a big shot. Again, all just box fights. The reses will come through.
Yeah, that was a crazy third party.
Ooh. Vanessa goes down.
Wow. Jasmine is putting in work right there, keeping that team alive. I thought they were going to go down because they overextended trying to ward off Amira's team and get those last eliminations. That was very risky for them, but somehow it's kind of paid off. They have so many eliminations on the board right now. Surprising how that just played out, to be honest. You would expect that they would have got eliminated by Vader's team with that third party and that beam to open up the fight for them.
That's 9 eliminations before second zone has even started to close. They are not slowing down either, just chasing down Maddie NF. Not gonna let her get away. They're gonna take every single point. But they're still just respawning. We talked about the potential to drop 30 bombs, and so far, Girly Bella and company are on track.
Yeah, and you can also see Alba's getting some eliminations in the kill feed. So it seems like this map is not playing out how it did earlier. They are all starting to really play for it. They know that they need to get these eliminations up on the leaderboard in order to have a chance at going up if they ain't in first place right now.
We're back on EU as well, so this is where Albaxna will thrive. Going up against Victoria. A big shot there for the crack. Down to 70 HP. Tries to bail out with the shockwave, but not able to do so. Albaxna connecting that last shot. Lucca gliding in here along the beach, looking to try and get some line of sight here away, but the team's already on her. Fran straight into her box now. Lucca doing a great job to get out, but Fran not gonna let it happen this time. Picking up that elimination.
Fran just appeared out of nowhere. She really just slid in there and says, "You are not respawning on my watch." She is getting those eliminations.
They need these points, and there's still 40 out of 40, 10 teams up, so everyone's still respawning. Each and every elimination is just another point on the board, though. We got 11 now for Girly Bella, who have been non-stop action this whole game. Just continuing to push and push and push. They need to be careful, though. Make sure that those materials stay high so that they're ready for endgame. Because as much as they're W-keying, it could go wrong at any moment. Straight into the box. The tech will go down. Girly Bella now trying to rotate away. Get this teammate back into the fight. Again, you overextend, you will get punished.
Yeah, that just team crash pad straight jumping on Detect right there. That was a crazy play from that team. And this Squid Game map really giving Squid Game right now. Everybody's full fighting to the death, it seems. Trying to get these elimination points to get back up on the leaderboard.
14 for Girly Bella. Just keeping the count. I feel like we should have like a tally going in the top right. Just every time we look away, they're right back into another fight, and they still have players close by.
Yeah, I mean, they have all to gain, nothing to lose, because currently they are 10th on the leaderboard, so they know they've just got to low-key just psycho everybody and try to get as many eliminations. Because if they play passive, they're not going to go up on the leaderboard. They need to switch something up, and they're doing that this game.
So their placements up until this game have been 7th with 6, 9th with 1, 8th with 3. So to see that they have 14, more than all of their eliminations combined in just one game alone, they've obviously decided to full send it here in the last match. It's working out super well. It's all about controlled aggression, though. We have a lot of games to go. Canary finding some more eliminations. Vanessa falling in the feed there. This team just trying to look on. See who they can catch out, who's not paying attention. Girly Bella straight onto another team, though. Gonna be Vader just on the other side. Low HP. Girly Bella needs to connect on basically one more shot. But choosing to play a little bit more passively, letting Jasmine clean that one up. More eliminations. 19? Am I counting that right? My math is super bad, but
I
that
don't know.
is a really
Don't trust
high
me
number.
with the maths. Yep. Don't trust me with it. But yeah, and Vader, I've seen go down to that team a couple times, and that this is not the game that she wants because they're in second place right now. They don't want to be getting farmed for eliminations. They want to be farming for eliminations and getting loots that they can like pop off in this end game and outplace Moxie's team. Because yeah, them getting farmed right now, it's just not looking good. They need a big refresh. They need to make some big plays this game to get back in at a chance of holding on to second place or even coming first place.
Reddish here, trying to move on the edge of zone. It's starting to pull now. Will deal some damage, but it's being inflicted straight back. Needing to invest some of these mats to get in this zone safely. Team already in now. They're trying to move through. Separating
Just shows how
a little
dangerous.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, the mammoth is so dangerous. Just hitting that crazy shot right there. Puts her at one. There we go again from Jasmine. Really opening up the fight.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's the 20. That's 22.
Jasmine's straight carrying this team this game. I can't even lie. She's going crazy. Really picking off these eliminations and already at 10 just by herself.
The first team now falling. 36, so 9 out of 10 teams still in this game, and they're already at 22 eliminations, breaking the record for the entire event. And they're looking for more. They don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Pushing the first team that they spot out. This Mammoth Pistol really being a great engagement for them. If they can connect on anything, that's the green light to go, go, go.
Yep. They need, I think if my maths is correct, they need 40 eliminations without any placement points in this game in order to be first right now. Actually, 42. So they need to keep keying and try take out some of these top teams, put them in a little bit of shambles.
If you had told me that before the game started, I would have said no way. But right now, honestly, it might actually happen. They could do it.
Yeah.
40 eliminations.
It's going to get harder as the zones close. There's a lot more teams able to third party them. They have been quite fortunate with a couple of these third parties just not taking them out, to be honest, even though they've been caught kind of out in the open, a little bit shambles, but they've managed to just take out these third party teams and give them even more elimination points on the leaderboard right now.
At least for now, Somerset and Frantic running a little double high ground split right now. They have two different bases set up, one overlooking this lower side below these cliffs to see if anybody's rotating in on low ground, and then one sitting on this backside of zone so they can secure it for the next pull. You don't see this often, but it definitely is squads meta from back in the day, so to see them using it here really is textbook play, so hopefully it pays off well for them. They could pick up some eliminations as teams rotate in. But again, talk about the elevation change. It's just so easy for most of these teams to go unnoticed.
Yeah, they need to keep max awareness on high ground playing split like that because, as we saw earlier, a full team can crash pad on your head in half a second and you don't hear anything. Only the sound of air as they just land on you. So, they need to really watch out. But crazy zone pull. Only one team been eliminated so far in this game. Still, actually, never mind. Two teams. Almost.
And Yasmin's still finding more eliminations. The whole team racking them up now. Yasmin, time to pop a mini as they find themselves in zone early here. So, given the time to just box fight and play their lives a little bit, see what they can do as a team here as they push through. Now we see the crash pads coming in. Teams making their way over the mini-map, the bottom right, flying into this zone. And Yasmin looking to take advantage of that now, leading the charge. Full IGL here, just trying to frag out, put this team in the best position possible to pick up these eliminations. Somerset following in the feed there in the top right. Reboot's ending in 18 seconds, so if you're going to go down soon and get back into the fight, because this is your last chance to get points on the board before we crown the first champion of the Radiant Invitational.
Yep, no more respawns. They need to lock in for this end game. Make sure they've got all the loot, all the materials that they need to put them towards this end game. Zone pulling across the river now, and it looks like kind of elevated up a hill the other side, so it's going to be very interesting. Lena's team on high ground again, as we've seen. The high ground demons right here. Seeing if they can take it as this zone falls across the river. Getting that early rotate in so they can maybe keep high ground. Secure this win.
Astani looking back zone to spray. They have a long way to go, though. Daya trying to make sure that this whole team is fizzed up and crash padding over now. No one's established on height quite yet, but they will dive straight over this little plateau here to hold this low ground position. Only wood for Desanti, though, down to 0 max, so they're going to have to look for elimination. The whole team is low. Now scrambling to find something, but the whole squad is still up, managing to stay alive. A big shot. Yasmin now is low HP, losing one teammate. Also going down. Girly Bella having to clutch up. It's an absolute massacre here on the low ground.
What was that? I think multiple teams just landed or decided to take that low ground at the exact same time. It's highly unfortunate. Jasmine getting res though, as she's been crucial for this team. I think she's taken over IGLing going into this end game. Oh, which is why we're seeing such a difference in gameplay right now from this team.
Detect. Jasmine still in this. Trying to heal back up now. They also have a super high number of eliminations. 26. They're on the track for the 30 bomb, at least for now. Detect finding themselves straight into the box. She has no option but the shockwave away. Back towards the low ground on front side. Now you hear the panic shockwaves from all around. Reddish falling elimination feed. We still have 20 players left in this game.
Yeah, chaos. Somerset's team on a high ground. I was going to say, I wonder how many eliminations they have. They do have a fair few on the board, 7. Wonder if they can get any more as these teams are kind of shambles coming up this hill. And you see all the shambles shockwaves, as you said, coming out. People at the last efforts to survive and rack up a few more placement points, because every point counts in this endgame, especially with the leaderboard being as tight as it is. And also with all these eliminations these teams have, I have no idea what the leaderboard is looking like, but I know that it's close.
It's such a mess right now. Everyone's trying to take their share of the points that are left on the board. Albaxta now dropping, given the green light by the teammates to go and frag. This Mythic AR doing such a good job to break down these builds, just shredding through so much damage, even to the body. Moxie following elimination feed, but traded out for Tokyo. Swizzy now going down as well. Some players healing in back zone. Albaxta spotting one out, finds Lena. There's the elimination. Still looking for more hungry to find these points. Zuli taken down as well. Albaxta still connecting. No need for a shotgun. This AR is putting in so much work.
Only 2 teams left right now. Looking like an Alba win. Their full team still alive on high ground, adding so much pressure. Regs' team coming second place. Alba's team taking the win. Such a good game for them. They really needed that. They were in 3rd place going into this game. Actually, 4th, sorry. Let's see how they did.
They had 13 eliminations. Albaxta doing such a good job of doing what she does best, fragging out there in those later zones. You could see the plan was put into motion there from Frantic's team. They wanted to play passively, and then they wanted to frag out in the end game, and they did exactly that. But something that I don't think anyone expected is Yasmin going for the 30 bomb in the last game of the tournament. An absolutely crazy showing here. We basically was a Yasmin watch party for this last game, just piecing up player after player nonstop. Just continued to carry that aggression all the way into the end game. Didn't quite pull out the win, but still such a solid showing.
Oh yeah, she really pulled out all the stops in that game. With the eliminations, she was top fragger, and it looked like she was IGLing from the gameplay. So that really came in clutch for that team, having her do that switch up for that final game. Unfortunately, they went down there, but they managed to get a few reses in that end game, but it did put them into some shambles right here. But they pulled out some very good placement and some very impressive elimination points right there.
It's a super messy end game here. So many players just trying to get in, because if you're not able to play for the win, these girls were able to find out that, you know what, if we don't have win condition, we need to be getting these elim points, and they did just that. Oh, a little highlight to Moxie at the beginning of the game. I feel
Doing
like that's
Moxie
BM.
dirty. Doing Moxie dirty with that replay. That's highly unfortunate.
After the
I
win,
can't
too.
say anything. I've played the map so many times, and there was one time I was playing on controller, and I did get eliminated in that exact place like 8 times, I think. But
Well,
Frantic's team winning that game, very impressive.
doing such a good job. I mean, they played textbook Fortnite up until the very last moment. They're able to pull out a 13 elimination win. That's what we know they were capable of. Just in those last 2 games alone, this squad pulling in a 19 elim 4th and then a 13 elim win. So really kicked it into gear here in the back half of competition. But the real question, Ruby, was it enough?
I'm not sure. We'll see very shortly. But I knew they had it in them to get that win. And they are such a strong team in this lineup. I did have them predicted for first place. Because they're such a strong team, aren't they? Like, I'd be scared going up against them, to be honest. Don't tell them I said that. But, yeah.
Competitor, got to keep it on the low.
Yeah.
But still, we have a lot of numbers to crunch. And I don't know about you, my math's been terrible this whole competition. Luckily, I'm not the one tallying it. But behind the scenes, we need to do some math, triple check the games, make sure that we crown the right champion. But we have to do it on a break. So everyone at home, do not go anywhere. We will crown the champion of the Radiant Invitational when we get back. So we'll see you in a minute. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Radiant Invitational featuring Fortnite, where we've made it to the end. 4 games down, 4 games played, and a champion to be crowned, but an absolutely crazy competition from beginning to end. Ruby, we saw a bit of everything in this competition, but I mean, are there any moments to you specifically that shine out throughout the day?
I mean, I must still say Moxie's clutch on 3 HP. Getting them to some top 5 in the and getting eliminations while she was on low ground in the water as a solo, and the team dropped down, and because her shotgun shots just warded them off, they got scared and jumped straight back up a layer. Little do they know she was a solo on 3 HP, so that was very impressive clutch. And also Vader IGLing their team to get on high ground in that second game, I think, to take the win for them. That was really impressive and perfect timing for their high ground take.
Yeah. We saw that map twice that Vader took high ground from, once in our second game of the day and then right here at the end in game number 4. And we saw 2 completely different lobbies, it felt like, from game 2 to game 4. Game 2, that was probably our most passive round, like, of the entire competition. Everyone staying in towards the end game, little to no eliminations in the early game. And this last game, we almost saw a team drop a 30 bomb. 26 eliminations from, I don't want to get it wrong here, from our, I almost leaked, Girly Bella, with 26 eliminations in a 6th place. They didn't even make it into top 5. Still 26 eliminations, absolutely insane. But man, the rest of the leaderboard here have done so many crazy things to make it to this point. We saw 20 bombs. We saw consistent eliminations. We saw multiple double-digit games. I really have no idea who's going to come out on top here. It was really just based on consistency, and it seemed like there were so many ups and downs for these teams.
Yeah, some of these teams really popped off with the eliminations. They realized how important it is to get some high eliminations in all of these games. And also to try and be consistent on the placement points, because we cannot disregard that. A couple placement points could make the difference between first and, like, pretty low down the leaderboard. And we're ready to take out the leaderboards. Let's have a look, see who's champion for this tournament today. Team Moxie, first place with 78 points total. Second place, Team K-Moors, and third place, Frantic. What are we saying? A
crazy round. Team Frantic making a historic comeback. I mean, from where they were to start the first half of the game, first 2, they were kind of down in the mud, now back up to third place. And then 4th place still tied, Team Melly, 64 points, a 1-point difference from 4th all the way up to 2nd. And we crunched some numbers. It took me and Ruby just a second, but we figured it out. A 1-point change in Melly's score would have sent them straight to 2nd place because of the tiebreaker. Brutal finish, so close down to the end, but we cannot ignore the elephant in the room. Team Moxie, a flawless performance, start to finish, 78 points, a crazy dominant run to take home the championship here. So congratulations to Team Moxie. Again, such a great run.
Definitely. And 43 eliminations throughout the tournament, almost 11 elimination like average is crazy. Some really good eliminations from them. And they played very good, coming back from pretty low down the leaderboard to then winning it. Yeah. Surprise, taking it all. So impressive.
Say they had to adjust their strategy throughout the day, but they stayed consistent placement-wise the entire competition, never placing outside of the top 3. A third, first, and second, and they just started to, they just had to tinker just a little bit with the aggression to get that under control, to make sure that they were getting the elim points to pair along with it, and they were able to do so. 10 elims, 4 elims, 20 bomb, and then 9 eliminations to end out the day. Did not need to do anything crazy, just a solid game plan and consistency from start to finish. So congratulations to Moxie, B, and Regs, and Q-Trix here to take out the win.
Yeah, we have an interview coming up right now. So, yeah, I'm so excited to see what they have to say.
I'm not sure who we're talking to yet. We'll find out in just a second. Moxie, hello. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You had an insane run today. Such crazy consistency from you girls the entire competition. You guys didn't place outside the top 3 the whole day. 4 games in a row.
Wait, really?
Third.
Third person.
Wow.
You guys didn't even know? Yeah.
No, I didn't know. We were going for kills and stuff, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys seem to have just the placement on lock. How did you manage your getting aggressive, trying to pick up eliminations? What were the comms like? Who was IGLing? Like, did you just tell someone to go frag and just go do their thing? Like, what was your game plan?
Just playing as teammates, like all together, fighting together, not going alone, and just following each other.
Awesome. Ruby?
Yeah, I was very impressed with that clutch. 3 HP on low ground in, I think, the first game. Yeah, that was very good. One of my highlight moments of the day. Yeah, very good. Well done. And were you IGLing?
It was QTR IGLing us.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, she's insane.
Good stuff. Yeah. Well done.
The crazy runs. Of course, the maps were switching throughout the entire competition. I know you guys you have 3 different drop spots, 3 different drop maps for a reload competition like this. Did you have a map that you guys preferred? Because you kind of showed like you dropped 10 elims in game 1 and then 20 in game 3. I mean, was it because the map have any kind of factor in that, or did you guys just play your game plan?
I mean, not really. We were hoping to play Bentor in the 3rd game, but it went out good. It was insane, 20 kills. And like my fraggers, Rex, she's just so good. Everyone in my team, Rex, B, QTR, IGLing, it was just perfect.
Yeah, well done. That was very impressive gameplay and coming out in the last couple games with those high eliminations. Yeah, that was very good.
Crazy stuff. I guess my last question would have been, obviously this is a squads competition, right? You guys are used to playing in duos, maybe even trios this season. We don't get to see a lot of squads, and you had to put together a team, right? How did you pick your teammates? How did you decide who you were going to play with today?
I mean, they're the best, so it was pretty easy to pick who to play with.
Get the best players in the entire world on your team?
I got crazy players in my team, so it was just pretty easy, I guess.
Wow, easy.
Easy to pick them because they're good.
Okay.
Not in tournament, yeah, easy to pick them.
Well, thank you so much, Moxie. Congratulations again to you and your entire team. $4,000 you guys are taking it home. That is a huge purse.
Let's
so
go.
congrats to you guys. Seriously.
Thank you for having us.
Ruby, what a day. What a day. It feels like it was so short. 4 games is such a short format, but we saw so much from the beginning to end, a bit of everything. Sauced and seasoned from start to finish. I mean, that was an incredible 4 games of competition. I couldn't have asked for any more. Ruby, you did such a great job on the mic. We had a fantastic time casting these girls.